Last week, candidate Fernando Villavicencio was shot 3 times and killed during a campaign rally. His assassination, it shocked the country, which remains under a state of emergency. 6 people have been arrested. Another was shot dead by police after that assassination. Now, the suspects include a gang leader who already was serving a prison sentence. Deadly violence has become all too common in Ecuador, and it is now very political. Just listen to what the candidates said before the debate.
We see that the circumstances of insecurity that we're experiencing are due to the influence of drug trafficking and criminal gangs in the national government.
We are here because we know how to change this reality and return the peace that we Ecuadorians deserve, here in our land, nowhere else.
I'm a pacifist, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't still be absolutely determined to fight against crime. We will not waver.
Well, my next guest tonight is not on the ballot this time in Ecuador, but he knows a thing or two about doing that. From 2007 to 2017, Rafael Correa served as president of Ecuador. The former president joins me now from Mexico City. Mr. President, it's good to have you with us this evening. I wanted to just start by asking you for your reaction. I mean, what did you think when you heard about this assassination?
Thank you very much for this interview. I appreciate. Well, everybody is shocked. We are not used to this kind of crime. There is not similar crimes in Ecuadorian contemporaneous history. So for us, it's very, very hard. So it's a new phenomenon, if you want. And there is a huge problem right now. Well, perhaps always we have had, perhaps in my own government, criminal gangs, international gangs. But for the first time, the gangs has infiltrated the government, the public sector. And that is a big problem for Ecuador, for my country right now.
Mr. President, who do you blame for this murder?
Well, you know, we are used to listen anything from the haters, but the real thing is that there was perhaps a police plot, conspiracy. Why? How can you imagine that, well, Fernando Villavicencio was a person in high risk, okay? How can you imagine that they don't wait for the armored car, his armored car, the armored car, Villavicencio armored car, arrived 2 minutes after the assassination? And how can you imagine that they put Fernando Villavicencio alone in a common vehicle without driver, without even the driver? Now they cannot find his cell phone. So for me, it's very clear. It's here also a police conspiracy.
So you're saying that his security guards, his bodyguards, you're saying that's Mr. President, that's quite an accusation to make. Do you? I mean, what's your evidence though? What's your evidence of that?
I am responsible of what I am saying. What is the evidence? I am used to these kind of things. I know about security. How can you imagine that they put Fernando Villavicencio alone without driver in a common vehicle, and 2 minutes later arrived his own vehicle, armored car? So why they didn't wait for the armored car, for instance?
The widow of Mr. Villavicencio today, she blamed supporters of, well, basically your supporters. She said that they were responsible for his assassination. What do you say to that?
Does he have any proof? That is incredible. No? We have to have clear that she was separated from Fernando Villavicencio the last year. So there is a huge fight between conspiracy, a political plot. So she doesn't have any proof. That is only political hate. Anyway, in order to figure out who is the intellectual, if you want, author of the crime, you have to ask yourself who takes advantage of the crime. Who takes advantage? We're gonna win in the first ballot. So only a political earthquake could stop our victory. And that was a political earthquake. and that is the political right that is taking advantage of this crime. So things are very clear.
And I think probably the widow is looking at the past, and it has been reported that you back in 2020 you were sentenced to 8 years in prison after the late Mr. Villavicencio had investigated you for corruption. So it's being reported, it's being implied that there would have been a motive from your supporters to take this man out of the political arena.
The news. You should mention that we received political asylum from Belgium. You can imagine Belgium giving political asylum to a corrupted person? It's because Belgium considers me a political persecuted person because we have suffered from political persecution. That is the truth.
What do you think is going to happen after the election, considering that a candidate has been assassinated?
Well, that, as I mentioned before, only a political earthquake could prevent our victory in the first ballot. This was a political earthquake. So I don't know. Perhaps we're going to win in the first ballot next Sunday, or perhaps we will not reach the 40% necessary in order to win the first in the first ballot, the election, and we have to go with our followers for a second ballot.
Yeah. We will definitely be following the election. Former President of Ecuador, Mr. Correa, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us tonight. Thank you.
No, thank you. You are welcome. Thank you very much.